Hi there, I'm Misconceptions and this is the second video dedicated on AP Statistics 6.3. Like we saw in the previous video, on this 6.3 subtopic, we're not going to learn anything new. We will simply see how we can use the conclusions, how we can use the confidence interval to draw conclusions, and how we can use them to support or not support certain claims or statements. But now, let's focus on some common misconceptions I keep seeing you doing in classes and in exercises. Misconception number one. Remember, really well, confidence level, it's not the same as probability. Let's assume that we are working with a confidence level of 95%. This confidence level means that if we are to pick 100 samples of a certain size, let me visualize that, we have the entire population that has a true population proportion. This is the population proportion which is fixed, and this has a specific number. So if I am to draw a number line, let's say that P is here. Now, I'm going to use sample number one. From sample number one, I got a proportion sample and a margin of error, and based on these, I was able to calculate a confidence interval. Let's say this one. Then I got a second sample. From that sample, I found a different sample proportion and a different margin of error. So when I created the confidence interval based on these values, I found this confidence interval. You can see that it still contains the true population proportion. Then I did it for a third sample out of the population. That third sample led to a third proportion sample, a third margin of error, which were applied to the formula, led to a different confidence interval. You can see that each time I select a different sample, I get to end up with a different confidence interval. Some of these confidence intervals contain the true population proportion. Some don't. 95% confidence level means that if I am to pick 100 such samples of that specific size, in 95 of them, the confidence interval produced will indeed include the true population proportion. That is all. So, whenever we see a statement like, there is a 95 probability that P is in there, no, that's wrong. Confidence intervals do not have to do anything at all with probabilities. What we would say is that we are 95% confident, and I just explained what that means, that in such 100 samples, 95 of them will include the true population proportion. So the correct statement would be we are 95% confident that the true population proportion is between this interval. Misconception number two. Sample is different than the population. I don't know why, but some of you keep confusing these two. Sample, let's say, are a small class from our school. Population is every single student in the same school. The confidence interval uses the sample proportion and estimates an interval in which the true population proportion lies. It does not give us an interval about the sample proportion itself, because there is no need. From the sample, we are certain what the sample proportion is. We do not need to create any confidence interval about that. we are certain about the sample proportion, we create a confidence interval for the true population proportion. Misconception number 3. The parameter is in the interval. By parameter, we mean the true population proportion. Well, assuming that we were given a sample of a specific size, we can calculate the sample proportion for that specific characteristic, and through that sample proportion, we can calculate the margin of error and then the confidence interval, which, however, is focused on the true population proportion. This interval is always of the form, like I saw earlier, sample proportion P minus margin of error, sample proportion plus margin of error. Excuse me. This means that if we have P minus E here and P plus E there, the sample proportion is always the midpoint of this confidence interval. So, the sample proportion might be in the confidence interval. That is wrong. The sample proportion is always in the confidence interval. That is the correct statement. However, remember what I said before, what 95% confidence level means. Every sample will create a different confidence interval, which might include the true population or not. So, the statement that the true population proportion will be in this confidence interval, it's not always. If we have a 90% confidence interval, we expect that in 100 times, in 90 of them, yes, it will be in. If we have a 95 confidence interval, 95% confidence level, we expect that this will happen in 95% of the cases. But bottom line is that the true population proportion might or not be inside the confidence interval that we found. The population proportion is not necessarily always in the confidence interval. And that's all. Remember to discriminate these two. Sample proportion, population proportion. We use the sample proportion to estimate the population proportion, and 90%, 95, 99% confidence level means that this repetition will bring such many successes in finding intervals that include the true population. That's all. I'm sure that it kind of helped. Don't forget, like, subscribe, and share. I'll see you in the next video of 6.3.